Hello everybody, Teagan here with High Point. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's episode of What is in the Night Sky this month. Tonight, I'm going to take you through a beautiful tour of the night sky in the month of April. We're going to be visiting several deep sky objects, Messier objects, a couple nebula and galaxies, and then we're going to bring it closer to home and see what the moon and the planets are up to. So as always, let's buckle in and see what's really out there. So to start off this tour in the month of April, we're going to stay within the realm of our own solar system and see what the moon and the planets are up to this month. Neptune is too close to the sun to be seen this month, but Venus climbs and shines in the west after sunset, joined by a crescent moon on the 18th. Binocular observers might also catch a glimpse of faint Uranus during the first few evenings of the month, starting from about an hour after sunset. Now, Jupiter remains bright and can be found high in the southwest as darkness falls, with a nearly first quarter moon close by on the 22nd. Of the pre-dawn planets, only Mercury is relatively easily seen, low on the east-southeast until about April 20th. Look for it about 20 minutes before sunrise, with a very thin crescent moon directly above it on the 15th. Mars and Saturn both require a very clear view of the eastern pre-dawn horizon and, most likely, binoculars. If you have both, look for Mercury from the 16th onwards, as all three planets will appear within the same 10 by 50 binocular field of view. Their positions will change daily, but they'll form a straight line on the 20th, with Mercury at the bottom, Mars to its upper left, and Saturn in between. Lastly, there's a full pink moon in Virgo on the 1st and a new moon in Pisces on the 17th. So for our next stop, and actually the one after, we're still going to remain within the realm of our own solar system. So first, let's talk about the moon and the occultation of the star Regulus. Observers in the eastern half of the United States are treated to a special event on April 25th where the waxing gibbous moon occults or passes in front of the star Regulus, the brightest star in the constellation of Leo. Observers in the southwest will get the best view as the event will start in the twilight skies and end in darkness. The exact circumstances of this event will vary by location, so it's best to use a star app like Sky Savari or Stellarium to determine when and where is the best spot to watch this event. For example, those in the far north might see Regulus just skim the very top of the moon, while those in northern New York may see Regulus completely miss the moon entirely. This will still be a close near miss, but a tantalizing view. Now, from this lunar event, we're going to talk about another celestial event, the Lyrid meteor shower. April brings us the Lyrid meteor shower, which peaks on the night of April 21st and the 22nd. You'll want to wait until the early hours of the 22nd to get the best views when the moon is going to be below the horizon. Under ideal conditions, you can expect to see around 18 shooting stars per hour. Now, the Lyrid meteor shower is one of the least active events, producing the fewest meteors per hour, but it has been known to produce fireballs and outbursts. Back on April 20th in 1803, some observers woke up around 1 to 3 in the morning to walk outside to see meteors, quote, raining down like a sky of rockets. Now, these outbursts are still quite rare, and unfortunately, this round of Lyrid meteors has a low chance of producing said outburst. Now, for the next stop on our tour, we're going to move outwards from the realm of our own solar system and take a look at Messier 3. Messier 3 is a stunning globular cluster for both visual observers and astrophotographers, especially if you're looking for an easy target for a smart telescope. You can spot it with binoculars, while through a telescope the cluster appears to have a large, bright core and halo that uniformly fades outwards towards the cluster's edge. Messier 3 can be tricky to find. It's best to locate using a pair of binoculars. Unfortunately, there are no relatively bright stars nearby to help locate it, so it's a good idea to use a star app or a star chart to help you out. From this gorgeous globular cluster, we're going to head towards Messier 97, a planetary nebula known as the Owl Nebula. A planetary nebula, or the Owl Nebula, is an outer shell of gas ejected by a star during the final stages of its life. It can be spotted with telescopes, but it's best suited for larger apertures. Astrophotographers and smart telescope owners will find that the nebula's greenish tint shows up quite nicely. It can be found just 2/4 degrees away from the star Merak. For this nebula, it's best to use an O3 filter or a UHC filter. It has a notoriously low surface brightness, so using averted vision can help observers to see the nebula against the background sky. A larger aperture around 10 inches is probably needed to see the eyes of the nebula that give this nebula the appearance of an owl's face. So from Messier 97, we're going to move outwards from the realm of our own galaxy and visit Messier 94. If you live under dark skies, Messier 94 can potentially be spotted with binoculars, but otherwise a telescope will do the trick. A larger aperture will show a bright circular core with a magnification of over 100 times, revealing structure in the halo. Messier 94 is roughly a third of the size of our own Milky Way galaxy, with a bright core surrounded by two distinct ring structures. It lies within the same binocular field as both Cor Caroli and Chara, the two brightest stars in the constellation of Canes Venatici. Alright, so that is our tour of the night sky in the month of April. If you have ever seen any of these objects or even photographed them, let us know in the comments below. Were you under dark skies? What kind of equipment did you use? We love to hear your stories. Again, I am Teagan with High Point. Thank you so much for tuning in, and clear skies.